Hello, my name is Brenda Bates, Medicine Woman, and with me is
Jen Tuffle, Medicine Woman.
and
Happy Monday!
Definitely happy Monday, and it's always great to be live. It's always good to do your thank yous in the morning before you begin your day. And when you do thank you therapy, you start saying thank you for the things that are about to come. Not just what you receive, but even for the obvious. Thank you for a great breakfast. Thank you for a great day. Thank you, angels, for arranging my day. And when it starts to come to pass and you're like, whoa, that's a better breakfast, especially when your husband makes them for you in the morning and it's unexpected, then you really can say, thank you for a great breakfast, because now you've received. But it's always good to know that you need to say thank you for the obvious, then turn around and say thank you when you receive it, and then just remember, to be thankful means to just not sit there and go, oh, thank you for money. No. Thank you for the bills we paid. Thank you for the job I get today. Thank you for life. And you just remember, it's not always about making sure you are thankful for everybody that's in it, and that you're supposed to bless and thank everybody but yourself. You need to include yourself in the equation, because without you, what's the point? You really need yourself in the equation.
Especially when you're driving down the road in your own car.
Do tell.
Well, you said you need to put yourself in the equation. I'm just thinking that would probably be a good idea.
Yes, because it's a giving and receiving. They both have to be equal in order to be able to create an abundance where you need it. And it's not where some people say, well, I think God's creating a joke. I mean, I swear to God, they're just always laughing at me. I'll be thinking of abundance. They give me a penny, you know. Yes, in a way, we have to think bigger, because I am not, for me, I'm only like a thousandaire if you think about it. Because I can't conceive having a billionaire, you know, but you, Donald Trump, he can conceive, yeah, I ain't taking no pennies, that's chump change. He knows what he's worth, but he also knows that he can think that way. Yeah, billionaire, yeah, you know, and so it depends on what we're equivalent to, what are we equal to, what is relevant to us, and what is important. And a lot of people say, well, then he must just only value money, but that's not true either. You know, but if you learn to allow yourself to understand how to grow. Now, there's a lot of things we want to talk about, but what we'll be talking a lot about tonight will be how the relationship cord is with people and places and things, and how broadcast messages that comes from our brain affects the other person and makes them show up no other way than you let them. There's also the broadcast messages that will trigger you into behaving a certain way, and you don't understand why you're behaving that way. And you will learn a lot of this tonight, and that'll be on our show on Sepia at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from 8 to 10. So remember to go to sepianc.com/radio, and we'll be on at that time. Then the chat window will pop open. You can participate. You don't have to, but you can listen in, and there's so many ways to listen in. So if you went there and looked around, you can find out. You can listen through your phone and other stuff. We have a full board today, so what we're going to do is we're going to just jump in and do what we love to do. So let's go, Jen.
Okay, our first caller is area code 909. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. It sounds like a very interesting show. This is the first time I've listened to you. So My name is Carol. Hi.
So how can we help you, dear?
Well, I'm just interested. I have a wonderful relationship coming to me, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm just curious if there's anything I need to know, or just full board ahead and keep going.
Okay. Are you the type of person that worries?
Am I a person that worries?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I have released so much of that I think, I need to purge the rest of it, yes.
Okay. And what's nice to know is that you know it's in your foundation, and there might be some a little bit left. And the best way to know is to say, okay, if I put it on a scale from 0 to 10, do I still worry? Consciously, we can go, oh, no, we don't. But be real with yourself and look back and say, okay, what about my kids? What about my husband? What about my job? And then if you find that like, there's any on the scale from 0 to 10, you know, like a 3, get it out of there, because you use a healing tool to tap it out. Without doing that, you're going to be, it's what a perfectionist does. It starts looking for the flaws to correct it. You'll be looking for things to worry about so that you can go ahead and worry. Well, if you heal that out of you and make that upgrade yourself so you don't have that as part of your system, then you only need to be concerned and to be directed to give your interest and love and support to help people when it is necessary. But when our subconscious mind is constantly saying resolve this, and we see it as, oh my gosh, it's handing me hell, here we go again, life's always the same, you always need to change it. Now when it comes to the question that you asked, just remember that program will interfere to some degree, because if you've had baggage from past relationships where you were hurt and that's unresolved, that can interfere. Now I'm going to let Jen speak, and then I will in a minute.
Okay, so
Okay, thank you.
so I pulled a couple of cards, and I'm using the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms from Colette Baron Reed. And so I pulled a card on the relationship in general, and then I pulled a card on if there's anything you need to pay attention to. So the relationship in general is the Sun Dancers. As your ally, the Sun Dancers celebrate you now and remind you of the laws of success and praise. Anything you place your attention on will manifest an experience, so the laws are always perfect. Expect the best and praise it in advance. This unleashes the magic of mystical magnetic energy, drawing circumstances to you to create the reality you envision. Give thanks in advance for the grace and goodwill of the divine. Be willing to dance the victory dance as if your greatest dreams are realized, and watch how easily things begin to fall into place. Stay positive and leave the timing up to the divine. All things are possible now. Dance the joy being and celebrate your life in abundance today. So is there anything that you need to pay attention to? And that's the Eagle King as challenger, which says you need to see a higher purpose to events. Not everything is meant to come to pass according to your specifications. If you can't see the forest for the trees, stand back for a while and let the Eagle King fly high on your behalf. Perhaps it's time to speak to someone who has objectivity and an ability to see the bigger picture where you don't. Just remember that even when things don't go the way you expect, there's always a reason for the detour.
Okay, as far as this relationship, I want you to focus on this person intently. And what happens is that you are able to express your love. You're learning how to have a healthy relationship, in that is great. I said what will be the future part of it? Again, able to express the love. The concern that they have, because you want to be able to preserve that love, it is to notice that there's a part of you that had to muster up the courage. How did you guys meet? Did you have to muster the courage up to say hi? Do you have to be the one to feel strong to create the relationship? So where do you think you had to muster up the courage?
Probably by getting in touch with him, possibly by calling him, by letting all my fears of rejection, abandonment, et cetera, fall by the wayside, and know that there is a bigger picture of this, and it's not a relationship that has anything to do with the egoic or it's something that in the big picture is meant to be.
Okay.
And we just accepting that and going forward with it.
Okay, so would you say that you're very...
Yes, for Nancy.
That's good. It's good how you know yourself, because knowing is very important for a person to grow. So the question then would be, are you a really self-reliant person? Can you do things yourself?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
now you got to remember, that's great for how you survive and move forward, but if you the reason you became so reliant was because you were so pushed to the side, then what happens is this is a relationship thing. They're saying that the
Right.
encouragement card, which is in reverse, it says a misstep isn't the end of the world. So in the past, when you screwed up, did it feel like the end of the world when it come to people not showing you love and they're going to take it away?
Right, yeah.
Okay, so that still sits there, just to let you know. More to this card, it said, you've fallen in the trap of false courage, and only humility will lead you out of it. So the thing is that we need to heal this little bit of the pain, otherwise you will have to go through and give the bitch slap and then humbly go through. And we want to avoid having to, no, we don't want to avoid, we want to resolve the issue so you don't even have to project it out there in the first place. So it says, perhaps
Exactly.
you weren't listening to your intuition and now you're in a jam. Being too self-reliant without knowing the ropes has brought you to this place. Don't become too discouraged. all is well. You can always start again. Take another road, surely discover new territories where love really blooms. Just remember to rely on your higher power. You can't always get what you want. There's that phrase again. But Spirit knows your needs. Something better awaits you around the corner. Now, we're not talking about this relationship, because that's why I said the first card I pulled up says this person is a way for you to learn how to express your love, because there said there was a part of you that was hurt so much that you've learned to withhold your love, and this person is here to help you express that love. Now, the courage is to, okay, so I'm very self-reliant, oh, I screwed up, oh, so there's that self-talk, that doubt that can come in and actually destroy the relationship. And they say the reason that that would be projected out from the soul is because you don't feel attractive, and you feel like you feel like people are going to separate from you. So you must have still some separation anxiety that still sits somewhere deep inside of you. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Spirit, in order for this express your love can turn into something more, hold on, Jen, I'm going to have you pull a card. If she were to heal this next part that we're explaining, what would the relationship be with this person? It's worth waiting for. So that means that there's some work that needs to be done in order for you to be able to have the love that you have created in your head. So love equals something in your head, and right now love equals pain, and we need to get rid of the pain so that love can equal something greater. So, as I ask the soul what's it looking for, okay, Jen, you're supposed to speak before I
Okay,
go further.
so on this healing, I pulled a couple of cards, and there's the reverse of vigilance is going with the flow. So there's something, the instinct of going through the flow, going with the flow, isn't there.
Okay, so this is the other way I see it. Because when you're going into the fight-flight mode, there is the first thing you do is you fight, and then you want to run, and then you have to freeze. But what happens when you are instinctual, like the wild animal, what will happen is you will actually go through the process, and then the stomach area is where the freeze mode, you finish off that mode, and then you get yourself out of it. They don't hold trauma. As human beings, we have lost that instinct, and so we lose that vigilance to be able to just finish out the process.
Okay.
And we need help to be able to learn that we can resolve these issues so we don't have to hold on to it. The more domesticated we are, even as our animals are domesticated, we hold on to trauma. So they want you to go back to your instincts where you can resolve it and let it go. And so what I'm doing is using my pendulum on my sheet that I'm using, and I'm asking Spirit. And right now there's just so much information we gave you that it's good, but your Spirit's going, holy crap, hold on, wait a minute, I get a chance to speak here? And so it's literally not landing on one particular thing. So I have to wait. Okay, there it is. They say that, because I do work with the Meridians, and they're saying there's a part of you that in a relationship, there's that vulnerability where you expose yourself to some degree. And it reminds us of the story of what we learned when we were on the Capitol steps when the vagina monologues, and where the man was telling the woman to just relax. This is your job, is to just relax and enjoy. And she's going, but I can't. Do you remember the story?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait,
I mean, that is because I feel like we're just so programmed to do things. We're responsible for so much. For, historically, it's taking care of the house, taking care of the kids. We're supposed to have a job. You're supposed to do this. Da, 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 da. If you want something, give it to a woman. She's gonna. And so when somebody says, "Hey, just relax and enjoy," it's like, I don't know how.
And that vulnerability is to actually show and allow them into your space without feeling like you're going to be hurt. Okay?
Right.
And learning to receive in that fashion. And they're saying that that part of you is that this is what it makes you feel, is that you can be vulnerable with this person. You're able to express that love. And they said the thing that they want you to heal is that there has been, in the past, and I'm not sure if it's in this lifetime or the last, but it says that you had profoundly deep, unrequited love, meaning you really loved somebody and they didn't know how to show it back. And that can happen between a child and a parent. This can happen anywhere, even from an animal. So do you know how to receive love back?
I think so. I think I do. From a child, yeah, but from a contemporary or from, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, and what they said is that
I would like to
they
say yes. I would like to say yes.
yeah, and I would love for
I
you to
don't
say
know.
yes too. But you had also mentioned within what you said earlier was that the inhibitions of fear, abandonment, and all of these things could come rearing their
Yes.
head. And because of that's already
Yes.
there, that's going to be a part of how you can't see love come back to you, because you have to put the protective gear on of that you have to see
Right.
that lens first.
Right.
And the person,
Exactly.
and we can't train ourselves to see that people are given wholeheartedly. Because we're holding that pain. So they want you to hold that pain of how you know. Okay.
Right.
So what we do as medicine women is we not only do we give readings about what your soul wants you to heal, to address, but we give you healing tools. Now, you said this is the first time, so you're going to end up going to our website where a bunch of healing tools are. So it's MW Reveal. M is in medicine, W is in women, Reveal, REVEAL.com. And on the left is healing tools. You're going to look in that healing tool and you're going to look for Hope Therapy. The Hope Therapy, you watch the video, look at the instructions, because I'm going to tell you that you're going to need to hold your left wrist with your right thumb in the first position on your pulse point, and your thumb's going to be soft, your finger's going to be in the middle of the palm,
Okay.
and then your left hand is going to be on your forehead and your hairline. You're going to help your body go through that fight-flight mode. You're going to train it to release the trauma, because that is our instinct. And one of the traumas that you have to release is that you don't see love coming back to you, because you know what abandonment is. You know. And you're going to look for that sensation that's inside of you. And the other part that you're going to be doing too, and you may want to watch both videos before you begin to do this, and we're soul coaches, so we can train and help you do it over the phone if you make an appointment. But doing it on your own, everybody wants to do, and I would like for people to be stronger and healthier on their own as well. There's another one called sensory system accessing. Okay, so watch both videos. And the sensory system accessing is that you happen to feel. Now, as far as a kinesthetic goes, we, as a human, we take on a dominant sensory system when bad stuff happens to us and when we're stressed.
Yeah.
So for me, when I get completely stressed, only my vision is what records everything. My whole body records it all, but it's in the eyes. For you, I feel it's in your feeling state. And that is, you're going to look for sensations. Where is it in your body? And you're going to then pull it out, and then you're going to, check it. You'll learn all about testing, you'll learn all about these things, but let me ask you a question. When you're in with fighting with people, or somebody's fighting with you, do you have a tendency to lose the fight before it began?
No.
Okay, because they're showing me that you're a feeler, but then I also have to ask that question, because if you were really leading with that when you came stressed, then you wouldn't be able to win the fight. You would all of a sudden become lost and understand in a greater detail what they're speaking of.
Right.
And so now I've got to really check. So Jen, so what I need you to do, caller, is to take and focus on a stressful situation, and I'm going to use Jen as a surrogate for a minute here. So tell me when you got a stressful, okay, there. Well, that's a good one. Okay, so now as you got the stress, now I want Jen to look at me, so through the stress, okay, and then now I'm going to have you look down, look up to the right, okay, and then, I don't have to, okay, so they're telling me the sight thing. When you get really stuck in a position, you really know what it looks like, okay? By that, what I need you to understand is that, imagine right now, you're only looking through one eye, that stress scenario that you were just looking at. Just one eye.
Okay.
And on a scale from 0 to 10, that stress number would be what? 10 being the worst.
5.
Okay? Now, choose the other eye. Now, you got to look at that stress again, and only look through the stress through the other eye. And what number do you get?
6.
Okay, 6 is higher than 5. Without you realizing it, the one that's higher is the one that's going to be controlling how the lens is. So when you go to do the healing tool, you have now just discovered how it sets and pictures wise. Follow through on the sensory assisting accessing. I believe the first one I teach is about the sight, and just start using both those healing tools and you'll be more open to receiving that love. But right now you have to look at and say, how do I know I can't see people love me? They treat me like crap. It's their gestures. It's their the way they stomp through the house, because people give off 10,000 gestures in a snap, and we read those. And what's happening with you is you're looking for people not to show you love, to prove to you.
Well, if I may, if I may say, I actually in the past years, probably 5 years, have been working towards this, and I've gotten beyond where looking through my children's stuff, because everything that comes to you is reflecting back to you what you need to learn. My children, my sister, my blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And now this one, with this person, this man, is like my last step. That's,
excellent. Exactly.
So I understand exactly what you're saying. Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, so do the healing tools, do what you can, because now I know more that you're able to do these healing tools. Again, if you have trouble with them, we are soul coaches for hire, if you want to call it.
Okay.
You make an appointment. Go ahead.
Now, your webpage is MW Reveal or MW?
Yeah.
M as in Nancy or M as in Mary?
M is in medicine, Mary.
Well, medicine. Okay, so medicine women, of course. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
And then what you want to do is you want to write down the code. She gave you L1S, so
Yes.
write that code down, L1S, and then that will make sense to you when you're watching the Hope Therapy video.
Right, because when you're ready to do
Okay.
the hope therapy, you'll put your hand in that position, and then the topic is going to be all of this pain, how you can't see love, abandonment, maybe how you're deserted, how depression can come in. I can't be vulnerable. Oh hell no! I feel lost. Your brain's going to go through a whole bunch of stuff, and just remember, you put it on a color and give it a number, and then what's happening when you begin to help that fight-flight mode to finish out like it's supposed to, the trauma is starting to leave. Your brain starts to rewire itself because the blood's coming back up during that stress mode. You will feel stronger, and the self-talk will slow down, and the feeling will change. Now you got to get it all the way down to 0, and if it feels like it's all the way down to 0, great. But if it pops its ugly head up again, go back to L1S and finish it off. Okay, and you just keep doing it until you don't have to keep running that old program. So what you're doing is updating yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, and keep in touch. All right.
I will.
All
Many
right.
blessings.
Oh,
Okay,
namaste.
thank you. You too.
Okay, so then what we'll do is we'll take
Thank
a
you.
quick break. I don't like to do a lot of repeats. But yeah, I'm going to be on a telesummit. That's going to be an awesome event. And it's you sign up for free so that you can listen to all the speakers if you'd like to. Or you can just pick those that you want to listen to and listen to their story and what they have to offer. You don't have to buy anything, but if you'd like to, there are great deals. It's a $500 value that I'm having that you get to have for, I think it's $127. So it's you get a lot of great deals there. Anyway, we're going to take the next caller, which is 860.
You are on the air.
Hi, how you guys doing?
We're good, and how are you?
Doing okay. Not the best in the world.
What would you like us to help you with?
I don't know how the best way to say it, but like, for a day now, I've been like complaining about why am I single? You know, I've been single for a while, but that's like my last relationship, like it just never was like a relationship. Like I just feel like I never had a relationship with someone. Like yesterday, something got me really upset, like with someone. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know how to put into that as a question, but hopefully you get the idea.
I
you
do,
know?
I do. And one of the thing is, the first thing that comes into mind is that there's a part of you that is just tired of putting yourself out there and saying, you know, here I am, I'm this really great person, I want to talk to you, and it's like when you reach out, it's like you get your hand slapped back, and you're like, oh gosh, this is like more work than I want, and your heart's been broken a couple of times that I can see, and you're just like, where's the spark? Now, the card I just drew says stuck in the mud, but it's reversed. When this card is reversed, it reminds you that you are stuck due to your absent desire to get what you want. And that's exactly what I just said to some degree, is that there's a part of you that's lost that spark. You want it, but oh my gosh, it's all the stuff that you collected on the journey of trying to get there that has discouraged you from really wanting that relationship.
Mhm.
It says,
Yeah.
when and how, okay, so it discouraged you, and okay, let me start over. It reminds you that you are stuck due to your absent desire to get what you want, when and how you want it. Perhaps it's uncomfortable to admit that the course of action you're chosen for yourself isn't right for you now. Even so, you have a choice. You can struggle in the mud and get nowhere, or take a moment to observe where you are and step out, wash the dirt off, dry off, and find other things to do. A much better adventure awaits you. You will know when it's time to embark upon it. Now, what causes you to stay in this particular space is what needs to be addressed. And they're saying that this happened, this first was sparked, and it was very important for you to understand this. This was first sparked when you were 2, that when you go to reach out, you can't have your dream. So there's apparently a part of what you think relationships look like, what you would like, how you would want it, and when you go to look for that potential mate, you first look and you're like, oh, that's okay, good. Yeah, you start to go make a conversation, and all of a sudden, it's like there seems to be nobody out there for you. That's not true. There is. It's just that you keep attracting this same story, and the one that you want to attract you can't see them. It's like that, And I have this experience firsthand. I kept dating the same kind of people because the attraction factor was, this is what I was supposed to expect, even though my dream was something else as far as to have the man of my dreams. And
Yeah.
when I changed the attraction factor inside of me, then I was able to attract the man I'm with now, and we've been together for 18 years. So it's so important to understand that what you want, you think you can't have, and what you get is what you're supposed to get. Well, it's not true. You can change the attraction factor. So what are we going to do? Jen's supposed to, you're supposed to do something, and while I look for the actual...
Okay, so I drew some cards, the Wisdom of Avalon, Oracle cards from Colette Baron Reed. And so just paying attention to what's going on. This is just a general overview. So what they're saying, the Eagle card is telling you that you need to pay attention to the angels, your guides. There's a lost connection. I feel like Brenda may tap into why that connection may be lost. Trusting your instinct, your spirit self that will guide you into what's attracted, rather than the human mindset of, I don't know, listening to, I don't know, I want to say like Cosmo advice, or like just very human mindset. They're saying pay attention to your angels and guides, and then also the thoughts about this process, and it goes into, oh, am I going to be worth it? Is that so? Pay attention to that self-talk. And then the Lady of the Lake is also there to guide you, to give you that courage, to help you with your self-respect, to help you take responsibility of this situation.
So, as I'm asking your soul, what is this all about? And they first thing is they went into depression. It says there's something that caused you to feel depressed, which means to lose that hope. And you actually went into your first depressed feeling state. They're saying probably about the age of 2. And so then that made me ask, is this yours? And they said, yes, it's what you're familiar with. And I thought, okay, so when were you really first familiar with the depression? It was inside the womb. And how many months inside the womb? About 4 months inside the womb. It was like you could feel the depression of your mother. You could feel the depression of the family. You could feel, it's like you came in this world and you know that it's being depressed. It's like, I would say, I like to say repressed, but you could actually feel this about it. Now, what feels lost is the ability to make the effort. So when you were growing up, did it just feel like people didn't make the effort to love you, to be with you, to spend time with you?
Yeah, like I always felt like an outcast.
Okay. All right, so that would make sense because, it's like...
They always...
All right, so now I've got to look a little further because they said, it's like, this is what happens. is that you feel this depressed because you're taking on an adventure to be yourself. And people don't want that particular part of yourself, so it's awkward. It's awkward because you know, damn it, who you are, and when you want to present yourself wholly to these people, they don't want to make the effort because they don't want that part. Does that part make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
And so then it becomes this routine of, okay, I'm going to be me, I'm going to be happy, and all of a sudden you're bombarded by other people going, oh, no, I don't want any of that, and you're like, damn it, but you're with those people, and you know there's a reason that you were supposed to be with those people, and that was to really look at the waking dream for yourself, because your dream is meant to be yours and yours alone. Part of group conscious society is that you have to stifle your dream because it doesn't fit their norm of what it's supposed to look like. Does this make sense?
I'm trying to get the
All right, Jen, see if you can help me translate.
So these people have a certain set of standards and this person isn't measuring up?
To some degree, yeah. Okay, like my dream is to become a spiritual teacher and stuff. And when I started to, because I grew up with a very negative family, they didn't think they were negative. You know, it was all big joke and, you know, negative this, negative that. And so when I started to become me, it was, who the hell do you think you are? You know, go back to where you come from. And I joke and I say I come out of my spiritual closet because for so long I was scared to death to come out because people would start condemning when I was positive, condemning when I was spiritual, and it's like they didn't want anything of it. It's like, God, how do you fit into a freaking world that says that you're not supposed to be that? And so
we're just, some people are just born, like we have a friend who feels like she was just really born into the wrong family.
oh, absolutely, yes.
And it's like, whoa, and it's not that it's a negative thing, it's just saying,
it's like
well,
you're
dang
not
it,
safe.
I don't fit. This is not my group. This is not my clan. This is not my family. This is.
But it is, you know, your soul is awakening up to the fact that you are there to really see the difference of they can be themselves, but now to have the courage to go out and be yourself, separate from them, and not care about what they think. But it hurts because you're looking for that love and approval, even though that's not what you're supposed to be seeking. It helps in a great deal when you're in a relationship when somebody really acknowledges you. So, the type of attraction that you bring into your space.
Right, and this has been part of that foundation, so this is what you know as far as relationships go. So now it's time to break this mold so that you can have the relationship that you're interested in.
Right, so now that let's say you decide, okay, I'm not going to follow what my family says. And so now you're going to attract that mate into your space. You're actually going to be attracting those that are going to withhold themselves, not really be fully honest with who they are or what they believe in. And you're like, hey, I am standing up, this is who I am, and so, because I asked, I says, are you withholding? They go, no. When you're out there with relationships, there's a part of you that really shows, this is who I am. So you're being vulnerable without being hurt, but you're being out there saying, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I, but again, you're only attracting the relationships that are based on who you were as that child. So in your last relationship, do you feel like this person was withholding love, affection, withholding something, withholding their feelings to some degree?
I feel like he did, and this is me.
Okay.
But the only problem with him was that I only had 2 relationships in my life.
Okay.
So far, I'm only 23. The longest I ever had was like 1 year, and that was a long distance. I put so much invest in that money.
Okay.
Come see, I was so desperate. But my last one, yeah, like, it wasn't all that great. It was very stressful, overly possessive.
Okay.
And my ex would actually, like, beat me.
All right, so let's look at this. Let's look at this. You said that you basically you had a relationship with one that was long distance. When we are really protecting your heart, we won't bring those that we love, even the ones we really love, closer to ourselves because our heart will actually, we have to protect it. So we'll create situations that is the most safest one you can be in. Now, we want love. You want it. So you brought somebody in at a long distance. Then you brought somebody closer. Okay, but you're like, oh my God, oh my God. So now what we create heart walls. So now I'm going to look for a particular heart wall that, because again, they show me that there's a lot of stuff here, and they show me your strategy and your pattern, but, alright, so I'm just going to look for this heart wall, and it is, your creative insecurity. Oh, interesting. Creative insecurity is that, so would you consider yourself a creative person?
Yeah.
Alright, do you feel you have to withhold that part of yourself around people that you want to really get close to?
Repeat that again?
When, like, you want to start dating and you want to start bringing those people into your space, do you feel like you have to withhold that part of yourself?
Withhold in being creative?
Yes.
Yes, being creative. Like, you have to,
You're not going to show your whole self.
yes, that's correct. You're not going to be able to do that because you're afraid that you may scare them off.
I would say, like, I am very creative in my mind, like, what I want to do with myself. Like, I could think of, I don't know, it's, I could explain, but then I don't know how to explain it. It's so much with, how I appear to people.
Okay. Well,
It's like, I don't know, it's like I have to be on stage, to put it like that.
okay, so here's the thing. Part of that, what Jen was reading, the first part of the reading was that you felt like something was lost. Okay, and what really felt like it's been lost is the ability to be creative and have that confidence just to be yourself in front of anybody, including an audience, including, wherever you
Well,
need
I
to be.
feel like that's part of the foundation too. With the family, is that have you shown your whole creative, awesome self to your family? Do you get to show that part of yourself to them?
No, I can't, because...
Okay.
So that's the creative insecurity.
Yeah.
It's because it is so vulnerable. It is like it's in a vault. It's in a safe. It's got to stay protected because it is so absolutely precious. It is like that's your soul. That's your essence that has not been able to be expressed to your family foundation.
Yeah, so part of that foundation is what needs to be healed, and you're not able to show your true self, all of yourself, and you feel like that's being access denied. Now, I'm looking for the healing tool because we use healing tools to help people to rebalance their life. And Jen, tell where to go. And
Okay.
while I
So our website.
articulate.
Our website where we have our healing tools available is www.mwreveal.com. M for medicine, W for women, reveal.com. On our homepage on the left-hand side, you'll see a menu. Scroll down to healing tools, and you get another little pop-up window, and just go into healing tools. And there's all sorts of self-help ways to start rebalancing, start claiming some of that wholeness so that you can get out there.
Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do hope therapy. So you're going to watch the video, do all that. Then you're going to hold R3D is your code to be able to do hope therapy. And they're saying, notice that when you start stifling that creative part of yourself and you can't bring your whole self, because if you do, you're going to feel abandonment, you're going to feel deserted, you're going to feel like not being accepted. And all that story of how you know that, it can't be me, all the stuff we just talked about. They're saying they also want you to go and get a rose quartz. You don't have to get a pendulum, because that's what I'm holding my hand, but literally just start getting some rose quartz, put it in your pocket, put it and make jewelry out of it, whatever you want to do, because that stone is will be very nourishing, supportive for you.
It's specifically for the heart, and heart matters.
Now I gotta find where I put it. Jen, there it is.
I have it.
Okay, so the rose quartz is that you want to
I
start.
usually do take it with me. I mean, I know because I'm a Libra,
Uh-huh.
but I usually take that sometimes.
Okay, so
Like I had it in my stock yesterday.
okay. The reason why it's important you have it, have like two, one for each side of you, because you got two halves that are going on. It says it emanates calming. It's not just for you, but it's also you're helping to broadcast the energy out, and people around you then can feel calmer. It says cooling energy to gently remove negativity and reinstate loving, gentle forces and self-love. Spiritual attunement to energy of love. Brings calmness and clarity to emotions and emotional body. Restores harmony to the mind. Balances the yin-yang energy. Attunes each chakra with the proper frequency. And excellent for healing emotional wounds. So when it comes to emotional wounds, I would say if you feel like you're having an emotional wound and you're not ready to use the healing tools, just take the rose quartz, put it over your heart, and just realize that heart wall is about, oh my God, I can't be me, I can't be creative, I don't feel strong enough, I don't have the self-esteem to be creative. You know, just start to feel like the stone is taking in the negativity, okay? We've given you a lot of information, and like I said, if you are unable to do this by yourself, then you can look also for the contact, and you can call and make an appointment. All the information's there. Otherwise, do your best to do the healing, and don't disregard it. I want you to really look and understand that hope therapy is huge. Once you understand it and get it going, you'll get the value, and then you'll want to do it. There's a bunch of other healing tools. The other one I would highly suggest is to take and do thought management. Thought management is on there as well, because you really need to kick those people out of your head that are actually stopping you from being creative. You don't need those thoughts and those fears and that negativity, okay?
So you think, well, is it like I'm not using my creativity? Is that my problem to not someone? Is that what it is?
Well, when it comes to creative, we think of art projects and stuff like that. What I'm saying is that can you allow yourself to dream, to express, to just get up one morning, throw on the colors that you want, to be able to just act, hand movements, gestures, anything around people? Or do you have to go and march like and be conform, and you have to have manners in this group, or you can't be yourself over in this group, and so you're not able to express your personality, express who you are. Okay, that's what I mean by the creative aspect. You don't have the self-esteem to be you, so it stifles who you are. Okay.
Okay.
All right, do your best.
Mine does go as more like introverted.
I'm sorry, what?
My personality is more introverted, more than extroverted.
Right. And that's a part you need to heal, because when you are being introverted, what will happen is that you can sit here and say you're open all you want, but your introverted self is going to control the situation and won't allow yourself to be put out there. So you'll be like hanging out at a place where you should be attracting people, but because of that introverted self, you'll emanate those energies out there that will actually say, fuck off, people, we don't want you, go away. You know, it'll literally be, I'm too stuck in myself. Or, because Jen had that to some degree. She went into a place and she was ready to dance and have fun, and then people were being...
It was literally like something about me was repelling people. It was so obvious. My friend had, it was like she was... it was like flies on honey with my friend, and then I'm standing there and they are walking right past me. It's like, what is exactly going on here? There was something in my energetic, my aura field, my F-off vibe that I have had for so many years of my life as a protection, because I too could not let people see absolutely everything about myself. And so it was a form of protection. Well, now it's becoming a hindrance when I want to go out and meet people.
Right. She's learning to be more of herself, but that part of her foundation is still pushing people away. And so, you know, you can, the first part, that's why I feel in a way this healing tool will work, but the first part is that maybe you need to heal that how much you desire to be introverted. There's a part of you that enjoys that safety of being introverted. You want a relationship, but you can't have the relationship if you're going to have this. In this case, you can't hold both patterns because it's going to defeat you. You're literally going to create a conflict. And I understand about protecting yourself, but right now,
it's time to heal.
yeah, right now you're constantly, it's a comfort zone. Like Jen will turn to the word wallow without realizing it, and wallow, but it's done with joke and laughter, but it's her safety net, but yet it is still something that stops her from really achieving her goal. We're not saying to get rid of your personality, just upgrade it. You know, it served you and helped you then, but now you want something more, and you're reaching for that dream, and it feels like the world's smacking it and saying you can't have it. We just give you a lot of information, and what I want you to do is just take the time, breathe, re-listen to the archives, watch the videos, because we record the show. We'll have them up in a day or so.
Our channel's youtube.com/medicinewomenreveal.
And just listen. And if you feel prone to do any of the healing tools, just do them. It's only going to help you. Okay? So think this through, because right now you feel like you have to give up this introvertedness in order to have love. And we're telling you it's the introvertedness that's creating an inhibition which pushes people away. So you're doing a push-pull. You're going towards what you want, but you're actually pulling away from what you want at the exact same time. So heal the fear. Heal the insecurity. Heal it. Well, in a way, I would say just jump there. But you have to really just look at all the information. And they're telling me just shut up because it's creating a confusion in you. Just allow yourself to say, you know what, I don't like this feeling anymore, and just start tapping. If you can't think of anything else, there's several healing tools, the oh my god points. Look at that, where you just place your hand on your forehead until you can get your thoughts back in order. If you feel like you can't articulate certain things, then do meridian tapping. Disrupt the signal so you can stop sending and repeating the same signal. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, dears. Keep in touch, and we now have to go to a commercial.